What's going on YouTube? This is 3zinferno, so I'm here to talk to you guys today about the Inzektor build. Now, I know you guys, I think Inzektor is going to get hit too at the ban list, but if you guys want to go to regionals and stuff, here is the deck list that I think is the best for Inzektors. So we'll start off with 3 centipedes at the top right there, 3 dragonflies and 3 hornets. That's just the essentials. 1 Gigamantis. I feel like Gigamantis is a really broken card, and you know, if they you say activate Dragonfly's effect and they Valor it, you can equip Gigamantis with its own effect. That's pretty good. You have 3 Thunder Kings. Thunder Kings are just really good this format, or in most formats. But Thunder King's really good right now, also because of windups. Windups usually have a hard time getting over Thunder King and such things like that, and also it's good against like just rogue decks, and in general it's a big beater with a good effect and negation. So Thunder King main deck 3. 3 Maxis and a Valor. Again, personal preference on this. It could be 2 Maxi, 2 Valor if you like, but 3 Maxi and a Valor I think is pretty good. Then you have your 3 Tour Guides and a Tsang. If you don't have Tour Guides or Tsang, I guess a more budget thing to do would be to put in Armageddon Knights and Mystic Tomatoes. I don't really like the Armageddon Knight, but I mean it's feasible still. Tomatoes useful too, because you can use the tomato to get into Tsang or tomato to get into Armageddon Knight, which dumps Horn into your graveyard. So for budget decks, you can replace the Tour Guides and Tsang with the 3 Tour Guides with like 2 tomatoes and a Tsang and an Armageddon Knight, or something similar to that. And also, if you don't have any Max C's, you can do 2 Valors, like 1 Max C and 1 DD Crow or something like that, because DD Crow is pretty useful right now as well. Then you have 3 MSTs, 1 Heavy, 1 Mind Control, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Book, 1 Reborn, 1 Pod of Avarice, 1 Foolish, and 1 Duality. I like the Duality, especially because this version of the deck is sort of slower. It's more anti-meta in a sense because of the main deck 3 Thunder Kings. So it's okay to start off a little slower. So if you activate Duality turn 1 and then you normal summon Thunder King with like a Phoenix Chain back, that's pretty good in my opinion. And then the traps, you have Solemn Judgment, 2 Solemn Warnings, 3 Phoenix Chains, a Torrential, and a Mirror Force. Now I know Phoenix Chains are hard to come by right now, so if you can't get Phoenix Chains, you could always use things like Compulsory or Bottomless or things like that. Of course they're not as useful, but for budget, if you're on a budget, you can cut the Phoenix Chains and put in traps of your choice, things like that. So I think this deck is this build is really solid overall. It plays well against even windups. Even though their windups are faster, this deck, if it has 1 turn, it can take control and just sit there with their presence, like Thunder King, and then you have Phoenix Chains to negate, and then you can start popping things with Dragonfly, like waiting for your pieces. Because one of the bad things about Inzektors is if you draw Dragonflies and Centipedes without Hornet, it's sort of useless. Like, can't really do anything. So you can sort of wait it out. You can play the waiting game with this deck. Thunder Kings and Tour Guides can allow you plays to in order for you to wait for Dragonfly and Hornet combos. So of course, I like to do this now. I just give you guys the main deck, and you guys can make your own side deck and extra deck. I can guide you a little bit for this. The extra deck, all these guys are level 3 except Thunder Kings, of course. Like the Dragonfly, the Hornet, the Centipede, and the Tour Guide Tsang are all level 3s. So make sure you have a lot of level 3s in your extra deck. If you're running the Armageddon Knight Tomato versions, you might want to run some more level 4s, because you'd have Utopia, like you'd have Thunder Kings, Tomatoes, and Armageddon Knights at level 4. And you're running Mind Control and Monster Reborn, so you always make sure you have 1 of every level synchro. Even though you only run 1 Valor as a tuner in this deck, you will be reborning, mind controlling tuners and things like that. So make sure you want to add like 1 of every synchro if you have the room. I'm not going to really do many exceeding with level 5, so you don't really need that, or level 2s. I mean, you're not anticipating normal summoning Max C and mind controlling their Earth or something like that and making a gotchis, so don't worry about that. And neither are you thinking about making Tyrus or Adrius. So stick with 3s and 4s, and then you have your 1 of every synchro. And then the side deck, The thing you're going to look about, you want to get rid of windups. So windups are a big deal. You want to side for windups. Then some other things that are sort of big deals. Decks that explode on you really fast. Like you want to look at even okay. So I know Samurais is a little hyped right now, but Samurais are going to be played. It's a cheaper deck, and it's still pretty reliable. It has a lot of drawing and special summoning power. So you want to make sure you side things for the Samurai matchup, and also for things like mirror match. What would you do in the mirror match? You have to figure that one out. And you're still going to play decks like Agents. Again, a cheap deck, but very good, and it can be very explosive. They can just drop triple Hyperion on you, and like, oh man, what am I going to do? Things like that. So you want to make sure you have a good side deck for all those decks. Also, another deck to watch out for, not necessarily Lightsworn, but Dragons in general. Just because Dragon, the new structure deck came out for Dragons, and you might want to watch out for that deck. Like, it's pretty dang explosive. If it goes off, it goes off, and it has big beaters all day, so you gotta watch out. And it has protection with prime material, so make sure you guys side well for all these matchups, because regionals is Saturday, and I don't want you to be caught off guard. So make sure you guys get ready for regionals. And also, just in general, this deck list for me is pretty solid. I play tested with it, and I like it a lot. So if I were to play Inzektors, I would probably use card for card this right here. Alright, so thanks guys. Just check it out. See if you guys like it. Tell me what you guys think. Alright, 3zinferno signing out.